So let's move on to another line of questioning here, and I want to direct this a lot towards Jay and Karl, but feel free, Tom or Cyrus, to hop in as you want. But Jay and Karl, everyone's always looking. What every entrepreneur, in my opinion, we should be looking down the road at what is our exit strategy, as we're leaving the gate, and what is the plan here? And so maybe each of you could speak to the role that IP played in exit strategies that you've been part of, and anything else you feel like that you can offer with regard to that.
Yeah, I'll take the first cut, more general and maybe more detailed, because you have direct experience in that too. I wouldn't say it's critical in the exit. There are so many elements to an exit, right? But it is a value driver for sure. Because there are so many things you have to do to survive, never mind succeed. And then success is not necessarily an exit, right? It could be a viable business, and that is it. But to exit either by M&A or, God help us, an IPO, there are many moving parts. But I think having, again, I go back to an early strategy, having that early strategy so that you can raise enough money at the right valuations so that you can get to the exit and actually have equity as the entrepreneur at the end of the day. These are critical elements that I think are very important when it comes to IP to drive the value even before you get to an exit. Because as entrepreneurs, we have to protect our equity. We have to protect and even I, as an early stage investor, I'm up here in part because I'm on the same side of the desk quite often, because my money goes in so early that I have to think about dilution. I have to think about, are we trying to raise another 10 million, or is it going to take 100 million to get to that exit? So yes, important at the exit point, but I think critical getting there.
I think for us, when the acquirer found out that we had IP in process, that we had a strategy that gave us some credibility early on. We also were doing the same thing as them, but differently, and they had patents that had been granted in the space. We were aware of them. We knew that we were not violating them, and it gave us a lot more confidence that we had already had IP filed to open the kimono a little more to them, reveal. And they didn't want, and they were real cautious. They did not want specifics, but there would, in the conversations, there would have been enough information they could have gleaned a sense of what we were doing. I was totally comfortable with those conversations because of the backstop of IP filing that we had. And they did hire an independent entity to evaluate us versus what they had to ensure that there was no overlap or minimal overlap, and that came back true. So they were more confident in their buying of our technology because of the documentation that we had. Otherwise, it would have been really hard to document our process, but it was there in the IP.
Sure.